Hey guys, welcome to Tricky Tuesday. My name is Clayton and I am a staff member at Be Skilled Be Fit. Now for today's video, we are going to be making paper aeroplanes. Now the aeroplane I'm going to teach you how to make is called a glider. Now for me, I have got a blank brand new piece of paper, okay, not cardboard. We want paper so it's nice and thin and nice and light. Now if you can't get brand new blank paper, or if you don't want to waste blank paper, you can always use scrap paper. So the planes I've made on the table, as you can see, they all have some things on them. So they're all just scrap pieces of paper that I'm not using anymore. Now, for today's video, every time I make a fold, I am going to open it back up and draw a blue line where the fold is so that you guys can see exactly what I'm doing the whole time. Now I am going to try and go nice and slowly, but if you do fall behind or if you do need a little bit of extra time, please pause the video so that you give yourself the best chance at making this plane fly at the end. Alright, here we go. For the first step, we are going to take our piece of paper and we are going to fold it in half. So you want your piece of paper in portrait and you're going to fold it in half. Now as you're folding, make sure that the corners line up perfectly. Once you've done that, you're going to make a crease or a fold along the middle. Now so you guys can see, I'll open it up and I'm going to draw my blue line so you guys can see perfectly where I did the fold. So right down the middle, that is going to be our first fold. Okay? Now you're going to open it back up. So you're going to have the piece of paper open in front of you. Now the second step, we are going to take the top right hand corner and we are going to fold it down in line with the blue line. Okay? Now when we fold, we are going to make sure that this top line is going to line up with the blue line down the middle. So when we fold across, and we're going to line it up along that blue line down the middle, along our first fold. So that's going to be our second step. So I'll open it up and I'll draw the line so you guys can see exactly where it goes. So we're going to have our fold, making sure we line up down the middle. Now you guys, once you have done that fold, we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. So take the top left corner, but this time we need to make sure that our 2 points meet at the same spot, okay? So just be nice and careful on this one, just to make sure they line up so everything's perfectly straight. Okay, so it should look like this when you are done. So I'm going to open it up and I'm going to show you where that fold goes. Now you don't need to draw on your airplane. I'm just doing this so you guys can see exactly where I'm folding. So if you open your piece of paper up, we have our first fold in the middle to create our center line. Then we're going to fold down one corner and then fold down the other corner. Okay? Now for our next step, you are then going to take the triangle on the top and you are going to fold it down to make a square. Now make sure the point of the top of the triangle lines up onto that blue line or onto that center fold. So we're going to put it right in the middle. Then we're going to make sure our sides are folded nicely. So we want a nice, perfect square when we fold. Alright. There we go. Now just so you guys can see, when I open it up, our fold is going to go along this line. So you're going to start from here, you have your blue line as you can see, and we are going to fold down, okay? Now from this spot here, now this gets a little bit tricky. What you are going to do, you are going to open up, you're going to pick up your piece of paper, you are then going to fold your piece of paper in half, okay? Folding it in half, making sure that the piece of paper stays on the outside, okay? So you're going to line up the corners, make sure they're not bending, nice and straight. That's it, and it's going to look like that. So you're going to fold it in half. I'm going to draw a line and I'm going to show you. Folding it in half backwards. Now for this next step, what you are going to do, you're going to put it down on the floor or on the table. You need to make sure that the piece of paper, the triangle is on the top, on the left hand side, okay? You're going to take your finger and put it on the top right corner, and I'm just going to use my pen to measure about a finger from each side, and as you can see, I've drawn a little square in that top corner. Now once you've got your little square, you are then going to rip that little square out of the top. Ooh, can't get it, pretty tough. Now, this is what it's going to look like. So you have your little square cut out. So when you open it up, you're going to have two little squares cut out of the top corners, okay? Now for our next step, you are going to take the top corner, so where the squares are, you're going to fold it down, and you're going to line up this top edge again along that middle line, okay? So you're going to fold it in and make your crease there. Now what you are going to do, as you can see, I'll open it up and I will draw our line so you can see where we fold. You're then going to fold down like that, okay? Now we are going to do the same thing on the other side. So make sure all of our folds are perfect. We're going to meet the other one in the middle. We're going to then make sure our fold goes all the way down, and it's going to look like that. Okay, now I'm going to open it up and draw our line. Just like that. So if you open it up into our square, we have our two little squares in the corners. We're going to fold one down into the middle, make sure it's a nice straight line. Then we're going to fold our second one down and make sure they meet together in the middle. Now, as you can see, we have created a little box in the middle with where we've cut out our paper. You're going to take this triangle and you're going to fold it up, okay? So we're going to take that triangle, make sure it stays in line with the middle of the paper, and we are going to fold it up. So we're going to have our blue line. I'll just quickly draw this one so you can see. So you have your blue line in the crease here. We're just going to fold up. Okay? Now we are all set for our next step. Now what you are going to do, you are now going to take your piece of paper and you are going to fold it in half. Now make sure that the triangle stays folded forward. We don't want it to undo. So we're going to fold it up. We're going to make sure the point is at the top. We're going to take the right hand side and we're going to fold it over and perfectly line up the other corners, okay? So we're going to do that now. Ooh. It's a bit tricky sometimes trying to fold paper. Alright, lining it up. Make sure when you've got it, we make nice creases so that our folds all stay together. So as you can see, we're going to fold along my blue line, which is also along the first fold that you did, if you remember way back to the start. So we're going to keep the triangle up, folding it in half this way. There we go. Now what we are going to do, so make sure that your little triangle is on the outside of your plane. We don't want it to be on the inside, so make sure you fold it out so that the triangle is on the outside of your plane, okay? We are then going to place the tip of our plane at the top, and we're going to start our next step. Now for our next step, you are going to take the top half of the piece of paper over, and you are going to again put your finger from the point, and you're going to measure just like that. So we have about 1 finger space between the bottom and between where our little line, which is going to be our next fold. Then you are going to, so we're going to fold up here, and we're going to fold our wing over nice and straight, just like that. Okay, so I'm going to open it up. I'm going to draw a line where our fold is going to be. So you want to remember, keep about 1 finger space into that fold line. You're then going to fold it right over. There we go. Fold it right over, so we're going to look like that. Okay, now what you are going to do, so now you've folded it over, make sure all of your folds are nice and pressed. That's it. Now we are going to flip it upside down. Okay, now we are going to do the exact same thing but with the other side. Okay, but this time we don't need to mark a finger space, but because we can just line it up with this edge. Okay, so we're going to take this edge and line it up to this side. Okay, off we go. So we're going to fold, making sure all of our edges line up perfectly. That's it. We're almost done. Almost go and fly our plane soon. Now when you're finished, it is going to look like that. Okay, looks a bit silly, I know, but if you open it up, you will then see our plane is starting to take shape. Okay, now we have one final step left we need to do. Now we're going to tip it upside down, and we're going to put it flat on the table. Okay, now when you do that, you're going to put 1 finger space again, you're going to put it down, you're going to find where your finger space is, and you're going to tear down to the table. We don't want to go too far, but we're just going to create a little tab just like that. Okay? When you get to that point, what you then need to do is open it up a little bit, and you're going to push that extra little bit that you pushed through to the top, so that when you fold it back together, we are then going to have this extra part on the top of our plane. Okay, so make sure when you're folding, all of the creases are nice and straight, and we need to make sure all of our folds are pushed down so that it holds in our perfect shape of our plane. Now we are going to go outside, and we are going to go and see how far these can fly. I'll see you out there in a second. Hey guys, I've come outside to test our planes. Now I've also made an extra one just to have some fun. You can make 1, you can make 2, you can make 10, it doesn't matter. Each plane is going to be slightly different. They're going to fly slightly differently depending on how well you crease the edges or how much you tear off. Okay, let's see how ours went. Alright, our first one flew upside down for a little bit. Alright, our second one. Right, we can go get them. Make sure all of the edges and the tip are nice and straight, nice and pointy. Alright, and we can try again. That one was pretty cool. Alright, let's see. Last one, here we go. Now, they're all going to fly slightly differently. Some of yours might be way better than mine. Make sure all of the creases are folded perfectly to get the best result possible. Have a great week, and we'll see you tomorrow with more Be Skilled Be Fit videos. Bye. To 0 to 60. Now for this challenge, we have set up one suit of the playing card. So I put the hearts out from 1 all the way through to the king to finish. Now with the remaining 3 sets, you're going to shuffle them. Make sure we're not cheating. We don't want them in order. So we're going to shuffle them. Give them a nice good shuffle so that we don't know what order they're in. Then we're going to place them face down in the middle. Now when we say go, you are going to flip 1 card and you are going to match it to wherever it needs to go. So if it's a 2, put it on the 2 pile. If it's a 9, put it on the 9 pile. You need to get through as many of these cards in a minute as you can. Now if you win, you will have 4 of each card in a pile at the end. Good luck. Ready, set, go. 7, oh no, good start, got a jack, got a king, got a 3, got a 2, got an 8, got a 6. How are we doing for time? That's 15 seconds, queen. We have a 6, we have a king, we have a 6, we have an ace, we have a jack. Let's see how we're doing for time. That's coming up to 30 seconds. Jack again, and the 10, ooh, and the 10, and an ace, and a 7. That's 40 seconds. Another 7, 4, another 5, another 10, and that's 50 seconds. We only have 10 seconds left. See how many you can get. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. Alright, I didn't get them all done. Let's see how many left over I had. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I had 9 cards left over. How many do you have left over? Or did you get them all? If you got them all, well done. That is amazing. Have a great week. See you guys next time. Hey guys, my name is Clayton. For this week's challenge, we are going to be doing our sit-up challenge. So doing 10 sit-ups. Off we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, guys, let's see how our team's going.
Hi guys, I'm Laura and welcome to the 10 sit-up challenge. Good luck. See you halfway, keep going. 8, 9, and 10. Awesome job, everybody.
Hey guys, David, sit up challenge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good luck with your challenge. See you next time.
What's up? What's up, guy? I'm gonna do my 10 sit-ups.
Hi guys, it's Elijah. I'm here to do my 10 sit-up challenge video. Oh, good luck.